This bit probably will be though. Okay. Hello everybody. I hope you can hear me okay. Welcome to the stream. Let's welcome everyone in the chat first of all. So we've got Matt Logan, Smart Casual Gamer, Willog, Stan23, Vortex257, Rem, King Creator, Dark Lord, and Milan. Hello to all of you. I hope you're all doing okay. Oop, it's coding on the receiving end. I don't want to do that. Okay. Don't want to do that. Apologies for that. There's a bit of crossing the streams going on there. Let me just fix that. There we go. Hello everyone. I hope you're doing alright. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. King Creator just says Voldemort, which I mean, yes, if you want. Milan says Tyrese live, Poggers, thank you. So I'll wait for you all to sort of get started here. We've got a couple people in chat already, so but obviously I want to start the stream just by giving you my regular little what's it called, like a life update. I don't know. These things I do on stream where I talk regular things. It's my brother's birthday today, so if you're interested in wishing him a happy birthday, then put it in the chat. I'm sure he'll like that if he watches the stream back. Hi, Savica Jones, Doctor Who, how are you? But yeah, it's my brother's birthday today, so if you want to put something in the chat, then feel free to do that. But thank you all for coming on. Hello, MRXD Gamers, YT, hello again, Dan23. I hope you all are finding yourselves well on this. What day is it today? It's the Thursday, so I hope you're all doing well this fine Thursday. If you haven't already, please give the stream a like. We're going to be getting right into the news imminently. But yeah, it's my brother's birthday today, so I'm wishing him a happy 12th birthday. Happy birthday to him. But yeah, with that, I think we'll get straight into the stuff, shall we? Unless you guys want to deviate at all other than that. But happy birthday, Mini Tharis. I'm not sure whether he'll appreciate. He'll probably be horrified, and I don't blame him, to be fair. But yeah, let's get into the news. So we've had quite a bit of news break over the past sort of few hours, and it continues to happen literally as we speak. So let's just jump right in. Now, as you all know, by the way, I mean, it should be obvious with the title of this stream, but spoilers for Series 13 ahead. Yeah, just be aware of, like, that's going to be a thing that I'm covering in this stream. So if that's something you're not comfortable with, then I'd suggest skipping out on this one and maybe, like, a lot of my future content. Because with rumour content, this is where I begin to thrive with thoroughly and properly into Doctor Who Series 13 rumour season. Now it's happening almost daily. We'll get a new rumour or a new thing leaked or a new thing announced. It's craziness, and it's getting into my busy season in that regard. So yeah, but if you do enjoy this type of content, please give it a like. But getting straight into it, I want to talk about this, guys. So for those of you who don't know, last night Doctor Who was spotted filming once again in Liverpool, and we got a shot of this guy, which we know to be a Doctor Who villain of some variety, and as you can see there, that is John Bishop in the background with an unknown female character. We don't know who it is. It could be his wife, it could be his kid, we don't know. But this image has stirred up a lot of questioning about what this character is and how it ties into what we know about the series so far, and I wanted to give my thoughts on it. And as you can see here, we have an image of him more side on, so we get like a full profile of his body. Some people have suggested, you'll see good old George Shred's tweet here, some people are suggesting that he's the Shadow from the Armageddon Factor. But I don't see that personally. It seems like a very obscure reference to pull, and it just doesn't look that similar to me. I mean, it could be, but I don't really see that much of a resemblance, other than the fact that they're both in black and have weird faces. But outside of that, there are a ton of alien type races in science fiction that you can say that about. So I saw a theory. I'll see if I can get it up on screen now, actually. I didn't actually think to do that before stream. It was from my mortal enemy. No, I'm just kidding. Tom Vance. He tweeted his theory on what this is, and I quite like this theory because it would also match with stuff we've heard about the series so far. This is a bit of free promotion for Tom Vance. Oh, that's a bit of spoilers for what we're getting later into the stream, if you can see that. But if I scroll down quickly enough, hopefully we'll miss a lot of the new stuff, because I want to get into a separate segment on that. But, so he proposed the idea that, quote, calling it now, Big Man is a mercenary hired by the Division who are still tracking the Doctor down. Doctor Who, after her escape from almost certainly not, but roll with it, Sharda, beefy. And I agree with that. I personally definitely think that this is something to do with the Time Lords, if you ask me. The sort of gown that he's got on looks very Time Lord-esque. As you said, it could be a mercenary type thing, or potentially like a race that they've experimented on to sort of do their bidding, because the whole theme of the Timeless Child is that, you know, the Time Lords were into some shady stuff, and having a being that they basically experimented on in order to carry out various tasks for them, that would make total sense, and would fit as well with what we know about the series from the rumour that I covered the other day about more stuff about the Division being revealed, among other things. He also suggested that it could be the Adjudicators, which could well be the case. I honestly see more of a resemblance between this and this than I do with the Shadow. But I want to know what you guys think as well. Let me know what you guys think in the chat as to who this is. It looks like Thanos or Darkseid. Yeah, it does kind of look like if Thanos and Darkseid had a baby, this would be the result. Hopefully it's a new character that is rememberable in the Chibnall era. I agree. I think we really could use a villain that is memorable. I don't think this will be it, personally, because it just doesn't really have the visual design that I would associate with a main villain. And that's a weird sentence to say, but I think it makes sense in my head. Yeah, someone said it there. The costume looks low budget. But I think that if it's not something to do with the Division or the Time Lords, then I think it could be something to do. I think it could just be like a sort of henchman type villain. So he could be a Sontaran lower race, maybe, I don't know, someone who's basically trying to restore the Sontarans. It could even be one of the warrior type people we know of from the historical episode, where they're basically going to be finding different fighters throughout time. It wouldn't surprise me if this guy was actually a fighter from a future species, or like a future version of the human race who's come back in time due to like the Sontarans meddling. That could be something as well. I see this guy as a sort of Kasavan, or the weird tentacly thing in A Woman Who Fell to Earth, a sort of henchman to the main villain rather than a main villain himself. I can't see this guy being a main villain, but who really knows about that? I don't know what you guys think about that. Could be a robot behind the mask. That is true. It could well be a decoy. Yeah, I just don't think it's got the visuals to be a mainstay villain. With that said, it could look better when CGI is applied and things like that. If I'm being honest, he looks very cool. That's fair enough. The design itself, I don't have too much of an issue with. I just don't think it's that. It just doesn't have much to it to me. It's quite simple. But then again, sometimes simple things are effective, you know? The Daleks, when you boil them down, are just pepper pots with plungers and whisks, and they've become like the most iconic villain in sci-fi, or one of anyway. So, you know, maybe this will be a case of that, or maybe, I don't think this guy will be the main one. Someone says in the comments there, found the mask on Amazon, turns out it's only 10 quid. Yeah, I don't think this is a main villain. I think this is some sort of decoy, or something like that. Maybe something that'll be framed to be the big villain, but it'll be a twist where they're not, or something to that effect. That is my guess. I don't think they'll be like a main threat. Not only because it wouldn't fit with what we've heard, but just because it just doesn't give off that vibe to me. But yeah, let me know what else you guys think about that. But just today, we've got some breaking news, so strap yourselves in, folks. Apologies for the door. Some people are in and out currently, but I apologise for that. As you can see here, we got a side profile of the monster. He's a bit more, you can tell he's quite muscular and quite imposing, or is meant to be quite imposing. I don't know why. I don't know whether anyone else gets this vibe, but I get like almost a trickster vibe from him with like the dark robes and like the sort of mangled face without any eyes. Maybe that's just me looking too far into it. Maybe he's part of that the group that the Turks was part of. I think he's called the Pantheon of Discord, which is a really funny name in hindsight. But yeah, who knows. But breaking news, we have pictures of them on set once again in historical garments. I don't know why, but like in a flat cap type thing, John Bishop just, he is evoking the sense of Bradley Walsh in what's the episode called? Nikola Tesla's Night of Terror. He kind of looks like that to me. He does give me vibes of Graham 2.0. I can't lie. That's what he gives me vibes of. But this historical getup would fit with what we know so far about the Sontaran episode and them going in different points of history to find soldiers. That would fit with that. And it could also be for the Weeping Angel murder mystery episode, because obviously we know the Weeping Angel's main gimmick is zapping people back in time, so it could apply to either of those two things, or it could be something completely different. It could be something to do with the Zygons, maybe like the Zygons have been implanting themselves into history throughout time, so maybe it's like a thing with that. In, what's it called? The three-parter, the Series 10 three-parter, the Monk trilogy, where they basically convince humans that they've been there all along. Maybe it's a similar thing with the Zygons, because we know that Chibnall likes to put bits together, so let me know what you guys think about this historical dress. We know that Chibnall likes his historicals, though, so it might tie into a historical figure as well. But let me know. Please, can we have a pure historical? See, I've never been a big fan of the pure historicals. I know a lot of the people really, really like pure historicals. I'm just not that big into pure historicals. I never have been the biggest fan of pure historicals. If it is a Weeping Angel episode, obviously it will be compared to Blink. Yeah, that comparisons to Blink are kind of inevitable. They've always sort of happened with every subsequent Weeping Angel story that has happened. No story seems to be able to compare to Blink. Instead of upping the quality, they're banking off the fact that Graham was the only character that was likable in the previous two. Yeah, I do sort of get a vibe of them trying to repeat the success of Graham. Maybe I'm wrong in that, and maybe he'll be a completely different presence, but that is definitely the vibe I'm getting from John Bishop. There is an episode rumoured to be about nurses in an old war on Earth. I don't know whether you think... think you'll be a pure historical. I think that'll probably, if I had to guess, tie into the Sontaran one. Again, it looks like Sutekh. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I see that. I do see that quite a bit. The robes are actually very similar. Let me get a picture of Sutekh on screen. Sutekh. I just knocked something over. Probably should have put Sutekh Doctor Who, because, yeah, there we go. Right. Yeah, you know what? I see it. Like, the head's completely different, but the body, yeah, I see that. I see where you're getting at. I think the sort of outlines are kind of similar on the body, so maybe it is... I mean, look, if they... I wouldn't want to see Sutekh back again, because he is just such a lightning-in-the-bottle villain, but maybe some more of his species, or sister species, or something like that. I do kind of find it weird that the scorpions in... Nikola Tesla, they were never, like, officially connected to the Rachnos. Like, all they had to do is say, oh yeah, they're a sister species, like they do with the Slitheen and the Blathereen in Sarah Jane Adventures, or the Slitheen and the Absorbaloff in Love and Monsters. It's weird how the Slitheen have all the sister species thinking about it. But, yeah, it could be something to do with Sutekh. We really don't know at this point. I think that's why it's interesting. I think that's why it's captivated our attention, because unlike, say, the Weeping Angels or the Sontarans, which I think going in we kind of expected that they were going to, like, sort of rattle through the remaining villains that haven't returned. With this, we have no idea what it is. I'm still banking on it being something to do with the Time Lords and the Division. But yeah, it's interesting to know what you guys think. Also, I wanted to cover this. It's in the next one. So they've restocked, this is a bit of a side thing, they've restocked the collection Blu-rays for Season 12 and Season 19, I believe. They are in different packaging, which, I mean, doesn't bother me personally, because I've only ever bought one. But I definitely, if I could get my hands on a Season 12, I'd like that one, because that's probably one of my favourite Classic Who seasons. I pretty much think there's not really a bad story in the bunch of that season. It's a really strong season. I even quite like Robot, despite people thinking it's kind of just average. Season 19 I'm not as keen on, but obviously you've got the classics like Earthshock in there as well. So if you guys are interested in that, go pick up your Blu-rays. But and also, another side note to a Classic Who, happy birthday to Patrick Troughton, one of my personal favourite Doctors. He is... Yeah, it's just his birthday. It normally says, or at least sometimes with these things, it says how old they would have been, but they haven't done that today. But happy birthday to Patrick Troughton, may he rest in peace. One of the best Doctors in my opinion, but happy birthday to him. But yeah, we've got a lot of stuff going on in the Doctor Who community recently, and as time is going on, we're getting more and more images from the filming. Like, I've literally got Doctor Who production news on my notifications, because look, you can just see here footage of them walking around in period costume, and we can just see people, and there they are walking back. Someone's made it into a GIF, which, I mean, I don't know whether that'll be used widespread, but Jodie and Mandip posing for a journalist, a photographer. See, I think that's the same picture that we saw earlier, but let's see, actually, but like from a different angle. So yeah. Wait, is it there? Yeah. So I think that's that picture, but taken from a different angle. That's what that looks like to me. Here we can have... here we see a picture of Yaz again. I think... Is this the same costume as that one? Because that... Okay, I think it is. It's just that she's got a coat on, which is a different colour. That's what was throwing me off. Yeah, this is her in her period outfit. I don't know whether anyone in the chat can identify what time period this is. If I had to guess... I'm thinking maybe First World War type, maybe. Here we have another video here. Again, I think it's just them walking along. There's doing makeup there. There's just... It's so weird to me, and I made a joke about this on Twitter, how much and how in sheer abundance the leaks have been from the Doctor Who set currently. Like, it's so weird to me that, like, Series 11 rather, made such a concerted effort to keep everything completely under wraps, and then Series 13 comes along and it feels like they're actively inviting people onto set. It's very strange. Not inviting people, but you know what I mean, you understand the sentiment. It feels like they're a lot more lax, basically, and that could be down to COVID and security, but it just seems like every day now we're getting new pictures. Yeah, 1920s, 1920s, so I'd have been kind of close with First World War then. Or 1930s Depression. Yeah, that's a good point, actually. I mean, that would explain why Yaz looks a bit put out if they're in the Depression, because obviously by the name, the Depression wasn't exactly the best time for people. First World War, that could make sense with the Series 13 Reddit rumour. Yeah, a lot of people said, oh, with a villain coming along, that could contradict with the Reddit rumour, but actually, I think that if he is something to do with the Time Lords, or if he is hired by one of the other villains, that only feeds into the Reddit rumour, and so do these period costumes. Again, I don't think the Reddit rumour will be 100% accurate, because there are a couple discrepancies there, like, for example, in the Reddit rumour, they say about how, I think they mention about Dan staying on to Series 14, but then at the same time, he's said in interviews that he's only staying for, I think he said only the one series, but actors are known to lie, so that could well change, as going off what we know so far. And plus, technically, if you want to be technical about it, if he isn't properly introduced, as in boards the TARDIS till episode 4, then he wouldn't have been a proper companion for a full series, so maybe that'll be the way they sort of loop around that. Um, yeah, it's like they did so much hot work hiding secrets from a secretless season with Series 11, but the most spoilery ones we see a lot. I think though even Series 12 we saw less than this. I feel like with this every day we're seeing new snippets of filming. I mean, it's great for me. It's great for me because I actually have things to talk about, which is for a lot of the rest of the year is kind of a thing that doesn't happen because well, what is there to talk about? We're going to talk about like I don't know. I've made videos before on like the TARDIS being spotted. It's like well obviously the TARDIS is going to show up at some point because they are going to film Doctor Who. But like with this, there's actual things to talk about. There's new villains. There's period costumes. There's rumors. There's leaks. There's so much going on. The Reddit is true in some parts for it will be either amazing, but I could see problems in the series. I think if the Reddit rumor is true, it'll probably be the strongest series of the run, but it will still have its issues. It's doing a lot of things that are good and are going in the right direction. For example, doing things like two-parters with more time to sort of dedicate to each part. I think that's definitely the right move for where we are currently. But then equally, it's doing things like obviously doing more stuff about the Timeless Child and the Division, and that's going to be a very tenuous subject, and they're going to have to be careful about how they tread that. We've already made it to 40 concurrent viewers. Thank you so much, honestly. That was what we were trying to break last time, and we couldn't quite break it. So thank you for allowing that to happen. Hello, Zach Tyler. How are you? Oi, Savaloys. Hello, Snapsicle as well. I hope you're all doing well. Everyone's come out today. It's really nice to see. I'm really enjoying doing these streams, these more regular streams. And I see that you guys are enjoying them too. Obviously, they'll never just be like substituting main content, but I'm glad you guys are liking it. Yeah, it's not morning, it's 3:22. But yeah, no, I was almost going to go earlier, but because of things going on around my brother's birthday. But we're okay for now, and I think I'd like to keep it to the same time in terms of live streams, but obviously as much as I can because. I think it adds a layer of you guys know when I'm going to stream. So if you want to tune in, you can tune in 3 o'clock. That's when I'll be like streaming. Oi oi, Modeskeller Vlogs. If you've got a vlogs channel as well, Modeskeller, come on, man. You're going to take over the world, Modeskeller. You're going to be the next Tommy in it. I have faith. I don't get where the Timeless Child is leading to what's the next big reveal. Yeah, I don't know either, because whenever we've heard it brought up since, it's just sort of been, I don't know who I am, but then they're like, yeah, right, yeah, you do, and then they're like, okay. And that's all they've really done about it. So, yeah, I don't really know where else there is to go, but as I say, I hope they do something. Thank you, main protagonist, yeah. I'm sure he'll be happy to see that a bunch of people wished him happy birthday in the chat. You will have to tick the notification bell. That is a good strategy. If you want to make sure you're here for every live stream, just tick the notification bell. Make sure that you're here. But what else is there to learn? I'm not sure. Yeah, in terms of the Timeless Child, I'm not sure. I'm guessing the stuff about like the Division and the stuff that they got up to, but I'm not really that bothered about the Division. I don't know whether you guys are. Came late, but decided I would anyway. Hello, Nathan Man. Well, I'm glad you joined in anyway. Hello, Dalek Khan as well, and Sontaran Bile. There's so many people here, and it's just, I love it. I love streaming. I love the more interactive nature of it. Hello, Bordak. Thank you for wishing my brother happy birthday, man. Let's see what you guys are saying in chat. I didn't read the chat because I wanted to get through the main news, but I'll put the stuff we're talking about back on screen. See if I can get a good shot of them in another different shot of them in period costume. Yeah, this is a good one here. So you can see they're in that museum place. So it'll be interesting to see how they... I don't know whether we know which episode this is. Because obviously, as we know with film crews, they always film out of order. But I think this will have something to do with the Sontaran episode, which is rumoured to be, obviously with the Reddit leak, is rumoured to be the first 2 episodes. So this could be for like episode 2 or something. I just thought about this as well, actually. This could be very much a Spyfall situation, where they go to different points in time, and basically, you know, they just kind of like a space race throughout time. That's kind of something that has happened before. So there's definitely a precedent for it in this era. So I think that can definitely happen. Let's see what else we've got here. Sorry if you can hear a dog barking. Oh, here we go. Here's John Bishop's outfit in a bit closer detail. I don't know whether any of you get this vibe, but I certainly do. Does he look like Peter Capaldi in that outfit to any of you? He kind of looks like that to me. But, yeah, let me know what you guys think about that. Give me 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. We've got about 40 of you watching. Thank you so much. I'll be... Apologies for that brief break, ladies and gentlemen. Just had to give a chat to my other brother, whose birthday it is not. I muted myself briefly. Apologies for that. Hope you can hear me now. I did say, but rip Tom, your sound cut. Yeah, I know. I'm back now. I'm back now. I'm back now. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back now. I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. I'm back now. Everyone's just... I'm just going to wait for you all to realise that I'm still here. But yeah, we can see here someone, like a set assistant, getting like the coat onto Mandip Gill there. There we go. So that's that. And here we have John Bishop waving that. Yeah, he looks like Peter Capaldi to me. I don't know, I get that vibe. Oh, actually, you know what? Brendan dressed just like that. Do you reckon? I've just had a theory. I've just had a wild theory. Get everyone in here, because I've had a mega theory. What if, right, they are going back to the Irish guy who was in the flashbacks in Ascension? Brendan was his name, right? What if they're going back to see him? What if this is actually Ireland in, like, the 1920s when that was? Hang on. I've had a wild theory that no one else has thought of, but I've just thought this up, and even the dog's excited. You can hear that even the dog's excited. Yeah, look at that. That. Wait, hang on. Let me see if am I the only one who can see the resemblance there? That and that. That and that. I can totally see a resemblance there. Let me know if I'm not the only one. Hopefully, I'm not the only one who can see that. Yeah, that could be something that... But that's just a theory. Doctor Who theory. It doesn't quite have the same snap as game theory or film theory, does it? Yeah, I just thought of that. If that turns out to be right, you all have to call me the smartest person on planet Earth. I mean, you don't, but it would be nice. I'd appreciate. Yes, is Romana confirmed? I haven't heard anything about Romana, but with this, with the rate that they're announcing returning characters, it wouldn't surprise me. I wanted to talk briefly as well, because I did a little joke video on it, but I wanted to talk briefly about the rumour of Donna coming back, but I want to do a brief thing on that if you guys want to do that. Imagine if it's true. Yeah, I know. I would have just saved Christmas now. I step away from the second one. I step away for a second. Someone mentioned Romana in the chat. That's something else. I don't know what that's about, but I just made an awesome theory main protagonist. So yeah, I don't know what the context for that is, but my theory was that these period costumes that we're seeing in the famine right now is actually them in Ireland where Brendan was in the flashbacks in Ascension of the Cybermen. I think that's what this is. If not, fair enough, but it does look very similar. Then again, all period costumes do look similar, so I could be completely wrong. But the similarities between the costumes and the periods match up. I mean, it could well be, I think. Hi, Dr. Universe, how are you? That's the wrong thing. Hi, Dr. Universe, how are you? If Donna comes back, I'm going to be mad. So yeah, I wanted to talk about this, because some of the articles have been slightly misleading. That's right, so Donna, I'll see if I can find it. I'm not returning. I did find it, and I wanted to cover it. I think it was a Digital Spy one. Donna not returning, Doctor Who. Catherine Tate, was this the here we go. Right, so here we go. Catherine Tate addresses Doctor Who Series 13 appearance claims. Right, now this is misleading because she didn't address them. A spokesperson for her addressed them. And obviously, I don't think she's coming back. I think the chances of it are incredibly unlikely, given that we've not actually had a picture or any physical proof of Catherine Tate Donna Noble being in Liverpool, to my knowledge. Not saying those people are lying, but I just don't think it's likely. But the way they've said this is to say that Catherine Tate has said it's not happening, when in reality a spokesperson has said it, and spokespeople do lie if there's like if they're under non-disclosure agreements, like the rumour from the other day says, then they wouldn't be able to say that. But if it seems as if Catherine is a big part of... I'll read it out to you. So, Catherine Tate's spokesperson has addressed reports that the star is set to make a comeback to Doctor Who. Speculation arose this week that Tate had reprised her role as the former Doctor's companion, Donna Noble, for scenes filmed on location in Liverpool earlier this week. It's true that the Doctor Who production team has been in Liverpool to shoot scenes with Jodie Whittaker's 13th Doctor, where she meets her newest companion, Dan, John Bishop. My God, the dogs are—it's like Call of the Wild outside. But if it seems as if Catherine Tate being a part of the transition might be too good to be true, unfortunately that might well be the case. Her spokesperson has shot down the reports of Tate filming, telling the Radio Times, "I can confirm that Catherine is very much not in Liverpool and is not on the Doctor Who set." Now this is interesting because she not only deconfirmed the Doctor Who set rumour, but she also deconfirmed Liverpool. So whether people just said that they saw Catherine Tate just to stir up people, just to get a rise out of people, that could very well be the case. But the fact that she said not only is she not on the Doctor Who set, but also that she's not in Liverpool at all, that kind of proves, to me at least, that I don't think it's going to happen. And I think, if I'm honest, some people maybe they thought they saw her, but I just don't think that she was in Liverpool. But let me know what you guys think on that. While Tate has been away from the show for the last 11 years, she has continued playing Donna Noble in a series of audio series. Yeah, this is just Big Finish stuff. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I just don't get why they bring back people like Romana or Rani. It's basically when Missy... this chat's going really quick now, I can't tell. I mean, which is a good thing, and I wouldn't want you to stop. Tharies is a slanderous scoundrel. You aren't wrong, Dante, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Hi, Tharies, are you going to look at the Sacred TARDIS? I will, I'll get around to that. But I'm just covering the news at the minute. I think the reason for Catherine Tate rumours came from the Tate sign in Albert Dock, which was in the background of John Bishop's Instagram picture. That might be a thing, but just because, like, the surname of an actress is on a sign, that has nothing to do with Doctor Who coming back. If anything, they're not going to mention the name of Catherine Tate in the context of the show because, well, it's not going to happen. Because that's not what she's called in the show. I just hope the finale isn't another large exposition dump. I agree, we need some action. We need some action in the series, for sure. For sure. There's just more dogs. There's so many dogs. People love chatting that. Yeah, I agree. People do. People do love to make up stuff. People do love to get a rise out of people. So I would just err on the side of caution when listening to stuff about Donna Noble. The only reason, to be honest, the only reason I covered the Reddit rumor was because that one seemed plausible. There's a lot of... mate, I heard you the first time. I will have a look at Thea Sigma's TARDIS. I'm not doing it right now. I've got to be honest with you guys. Like spamming, when you spam something in the chat repeatedly, it makes me want to do it less. So just don't do it because it's not something that I. If you're renting if you're renting a house, you are a tenant. Thus, you are David Tennant. Yeah. No, like, people will make... I think it always seems like David Tennant's coming back every single time. That's just always, like, an instant rumour that comes out. And it's just not, like, the case. Apologies for the green screen movement, by the way, but we just had to close the door. So I'm exposing myself here because the canon is broken. Because, obviously, I'm still not out of the other office yet. That's cool. I'd have loved it if they were the same guy. I think that's something to do with Durrani. I'm not sure about that. I heard a leak that Tharis would be in the final episode. Is this true? I mean, well, I can't say anything. But I mean, if I turn up in the finale, then I'm just gonna say, don't be surprised. You know. Right, Sinclair, don't you dare. Isn't Tate Modern Museum at Liverpool? Exactly. It's just the name of a museum. Like, that's in no way confirmation. I think people... I like to think of that one line in the TV movie where the Eighth Doctor goes, humans, always spotting patterns in things that aren't there. That's what's going on to me, I think. People, a lot of love for Romana in the chat, which is fair enough. I love a bit of Romana myself. Romana 2 is my personal favourite of the two. But Milan said they prefer Mary Tam, which is fair enough. I think I'm just more of a fan of Lala Ward. Tharis, are you playing the Rani? I mean, look, you've sort of spoiled the surprise. I mean, it's going to be a surprise. Yes, I am in fact playing the Rani with George Shreed as the showrunner. Yeah, people are making the comparisons to the Dark Side. Yeah, actually, this is a good point as well. If you look at the Time Lord garments in the Timeless Children, look at this. They look very similar to this. I think that the guy we're seeing currently is someone who works for the Division. I think that's why the mask isn't meant to be a real face. It's meant to be a mask to cover up that he is in fact part of the Division. I reckon this is a big, bulky Time Lord sort of enforcer who's been sent back to find the Doctor after she escaped in like Fugitive with the Roof Doctor. I think that's what's happening there. But I think I've made some pretty cool revelations in this stream, I'm not going to lie. Thorani, yes. That's actually quite a fun, like, what do you call it? Like I don't know what you call it, but it's quite a fun play on words, because the Rani, if you put it into one word, it would sound like Thorani. Unless they're Time Lord assassins. Yeah, that could very well be the case. But then again, weren't the people we saw in Fugitive of the Dune just that? Isn't that exactly what this woman was, Gat? Wasn't she just like an assassin? I reckon this guy's like an enforcer, or, you know, someone a bit more like hard than that, or a bit more like brutal. Someone who maybe, you know, is sort of, has the power to kill Time Lord stone dead. Something like, you know, what they sort of teased in Series 3, but was like not actually the case, where it's like a weapon that can kill Time Lords, I think. How do you do that in chat where you get like the cool to be in a square? That's cool. Time Lord bodybuilder. Yes, it could be. It could be Dwayne The Rock Johnson under there. We don't know. I love the new Time Lord uniforms. If that's the standard, that's what they're going for. Yeah, the new Time Lord uniforms are weird because they seem to be going for a more black and white style, because the Time Lords in the Timeless Children, if I can get them up. See if I can find them. The ones, I had them in a video the other day, the ones in like the white, here we go. So they seem to be going for like the ones with higher positions, because like all the Founding Fathers are in white. So I think all the Founding Fathers are in white, and then anyone lower than that is in like, you've got like your Enforcers who are in like black, and then you've got your regular Time Lords who are in like more standardized robes like these guys are. That's my theory about the colouring. But yeah. Maybe the Master and Cybermaster survived and built an army and is hiring others and hunting the Doctor. That could be true. It wouldn't quite fit in with the Reddit leak because what we know is just that what we've heard from that is that just the Master will be communicating via the means of psychic connection. So that wouldn't quite fit with that. But having said that, he could still come up in the finale. Like, even though it wasn't mentioned, it could still happen. So that's something to think about. I've always loved the colourful robes, but it would make sense for the Time Lords who travel off planets such as Gat and other Division members to be in lighter clothing. And yeah, it could also be a sign of the times as well. Because we know that the Division Time Lords that we've seen are like pre the destruction of Gallifrey. So i.e. maybe even pre Time War, because they seem shocked at even the idea of the Time Lords being destroyed. So what if these guys, before they were all in the red and the sort of ceremonial stuff, they were in the black and the white? That would make sense. Whereas, like, obviously, because red as well is a very wartime colour. So I think it would make sense if the red Time Lords that we see a lot in the RTD era and the Moffat era were Time War Time Lords, if that makes sense. I mean, red's been used in the Time Lords before, but, like, it's pretty much the standard colour in the new series. Pre-Chibnall, obviously, so that could probably be the case. Oh god, please don't tell me the Master is going to communicate with the Doctor, Kylo Ren style. Yeah, that seems to be what they're going for, to me. Like, that seems like what they're going for. I mean, it could be wrong, but, like, that just seems the vibe that I get from the Reddit leak. Well, Time Lords aren't allowed to change history, so they don't want to be conspicuous. Yeah, well, obviously in the Time Lords Children, they mentioned that this is, like, a specific group that's designed to meddle with history, which would kind of contradict with the whole idea of the Doctor being, like, one who's, you know, the only one who does that, but, I mean, I digress. Quarks were used by the Dominators. Okay, cool, I didn't know that. The Cybermasters definitely survived through here. But yeah, that guy says, the Master says through here, I think the Cybermasters survive. I wouldn't be surprised if they got at least, like, a cameo in the next series, but yeah. You're nothing, Doctor. Your parents were nobodies, sold you off for drinking money. I think you're conflating two different franchises there. I'm gonna head off, but excellent stream. See you, main protagonist. Thanks for tuning in. It's been a bit of a chaotic one because of the various noises. Hopefully they've not been too loud. Let me know, chat, if they've been too loud. I always like black and white Time Lord outfits better. That's fair. There is something sinister about them in black and white, and I think with that seems to be what they want to do with the Time Lords in the current iteration. So it would make a lot of sense. That villain looks like Tim Shaw from The Woman Who Fell to Earth. I see that. Yeah, I see that. I mean, it's kind of weird, isn't it? In Series 11, they made a big deal about the stanza, and, oh, look, in the Ghost Monument, you could see the stanza, and then in the finale, Tim Shaw was the final one. So you'd think that they were going to be building up the stanza as, like, a main threat of the era, and then in Series 12, they never get mentioned, so maybe this is them coming back into it somehow? I don't know. This is what I mean. We can speculate about this, because it could literally be anything. See if I can find any other images about this guy. See if I can find any other. Yeah, people have mentioned that if they are like enforcers, would that just not be like the Jadoon? And I think while Jadoon would be, I think, because imagine if Gat gets put back into it, maybe she thought, okay, we'll just get Jadoon because they maybe underestimated how much the Doctor could do, and then she goes back to Gallifrey and she's like, oh, the Doctor kicked our butts last time, we need to call in reinforcements, and then they get in this mercenary guy. I think that would make a lot of sense. Hello, Thomas. Hello, Tube of Talos, how are you? Doesn't look that bad, TBH. Yeah, I don't mind it too much. I mean, the mask looks a bit cheap, but I mean, it could be fixed with CGI. Hi, can you please tell me, do you know how many Doctor is there going to be in the show? Well, I mean, is that in terms of this series? Because, like, I assume the Roof Doctor would come back, so at least 2. His villain designs are so bad, I'm sorry. Yeah, I agree. His unique villains just aren't it. Like, he hasn't really been able to make one that is memorable. Like, you know, even Tim Short, I think the only reason we all remember his name is because of how often he showed up in Series 11. When the Time Lord was locked, you can't really get out of it with the TARDIS. Exactly. But that's the thing now. Maybe because that's been unlocked, and like obviously the Doctor went to Gallifrey, maybe because he went to Gallifrey now, it's opening up us seeing more of the Time Lord's history, because now it's not time locked. Maybe now we can see the past of the Time Lords as well as just, you know, Time War Time Lords, if that makes sense. Just a theory. I'm just like, it's fun to speculate though. Like, that's the thing. Even if I don't like this era loads, like, at least Series 13 is giving us something to speculate about. Like, we don't know who this woman is. Again, I'm guessing like a wife or a sister, but I don't want them to retread like a Graham where she like gets killed off in the first episode, because that would just be lazy and it would just be the same thing as last time. But yeah, at least this is giving us something to talk about and speculate about, whereas like with Series 11 there was just nothing. It was just, oh yeah, the TARDIS is there, and it's like, oh, okay. I mean, like, it did have a couple things because it was like all brand new, but like, yeah, outside of, ooh, new TARDIS, ooh, new Sonic, that's kind of, and obviously new Doctor and companions, that's kind of the extent of it. Whereas with this, we're speculating about what this guy is. Look, we can see him in motion here. Along with John Bishop there, who looks tiny. I know it's because they're filming far away. That was a very threatening walk to the side there. He's very tall. I don't know whether he's made to be taller. You know what? He actually gives me a vibe of the Ogrons from Classic Who were like the Daleks' sort of servant type things, because they were like big and muscly and kind of the foot soldiers basically to get killed off. That's what these give me vibes of, where they're not the main threat, they're just something to be disposed of by the main villain. I think that's what these are. I don't think they're like the main threat. Hi Variathin, I think I'm saying that correctly. The Plump Chicken, I have no idea how they're going to get this out in 2021 when they're still filming though. I mean, to be fair, editing and stuff like that and post-production takes like a couple of months, so it is feasible, because they only finished, I want to say they only finished like filming series 12 in like October, and it came out the following January, so there's quite a quick turnaround when it comes to post-production. Farry's really random note, but a guy at school who I think has only seen a bit of Doctor Who asked me who I thought the most attractive companion. After I said that, he said Graham. Fair enough, Bradley Walsh is a handsome man. I mean, it's Amy for me, but that's you know, that's just me. I think closing time, Crash Cybership has been there for a long time. It could be, yeah, that's another thing as well, like, what if this guy has been stranded on Earth for a while? We don't know. He could be stranded on Earth and waking up kind of like, something like, you know, a sort of slow invasion type thing. Oh, hey, look, Bad Wolf's, good old Bad Wolf, friend of the channel's been filming stuff. Yeah, look, we can see the vans and stuff there. Yeah, it's just so weird to me how much we're getting to see of the filming. Again, I'm not complaining, but goddamn, it's a lot. Wait, so who's... I want to know, is this the woman who's with John Bishop? And her name is Nadia Abinai? Abinai? I'm butchering that, I know, I'm sorry. Nadia Abinai? I'm so sorry. Right, I'm going to Google that, because I want to see what she's been in. I'm curious. Because this could be, you know, a new side character. This could be our new Jackie Tyler sort of type character, at least for this series. What's she been in? I think it was spelled incorrectly, which is why it's Albina. Okay. Nadia Albina. Known for White Doctors and Beautiful People. Seafull Buyer. Wait. Is that it? She was born... Oh! She was born with one hand. That means her right arm finishes at the elbow. Wait, is that obvious in the picture? Wait, hang on. Let me see if I can... Oh yeah, one of her hands does. Oh wow, fair enough. Fair enough. I do like it when they do organic representation of disabilities, so that's good. Obviously, I'm glad when that happens, but yeah, nah, it's gotta be Karen Gillan or Amy for me. At the moment, I don't think the new Doctor is going to be funny compared to Matt Smith. No, like I don't know whether you've seen the previous two, but like she doesn't compare to like Matt Smith for me. Like Matt Smith's my personal favorite. Um, yeah, what's she been in? It's only showing like doctors, beautiful people, and that's about it. I can't see a lot on her. If you guys can find anything else, let me know. Maybe the wiki will be a bit more informative. Movies, all right. National Theatre. Okay, so she's a theatre actor as well, theatrically trained, so that's good. Um, I just can't tell what else she's been in. Making It. For any of you Making It fans, it's directed by Stephen Glover though, so fair enough. Uh, yeah, I don't really know what much else she's been in other than that though, so that's interesting. We've got like a confirmed cast member as well. Nightmare in Silver was written by Neil Gaiman. He wanted to do the Cybermen. I think like the thing with Nightmare in Silver is it got interfered with a lot in post production. I think his original script would probably be a lot better than the one we ended up with personally. Um, but it was interfered with a lot, as far as I'm aware, on that. Which is a shame because Neil Gaiman is like I think really talented, and I'd love for him to be showrunner one day. Because like Doctor's Wife is one of my favorite stories of all time, and I think it's such a heartwarming and an emotional episode, and I really enjoy that one. So yeah, I'd be super down for them to for the Neil Gaiman to be showrunner, but I don't think he wants it. So but I mean Neil. If maybe the BBC could give you enough money, maybe come and show on Doctor Who for a bit. I'd love that, even if it's just like one series. Um, yeah, I honestly think though, Milan, that it was interfered with a lot in post, and I think it was one of those that's kind of like like a Justice League where it just gets changed completely from his original vision, because I've heard conflicting things about that, but I think personally to me his vision got tampered with. That's what it looks like to me. Um, Making It, that's my favorite show. Okay, I'm making it stand. Maybe can you tell us what her role is in that? Tell us what her role is in that show? I'm curious. Um. Okay, interesting. Let me know. Let me know what this actress does in that film. I'd be curious. For what it is, Nightmare in Silver is fairly decent, but Sideman Story. No, I would agree. But again, I think I really want BBC to do Big Finish to do a Lost Story version of Nightmare in Silver. I agree. I'd like to see Neil Gaiman's original vision. Gaiman said in Doctor Who magazine he'd like to write for 13. I think that is, yeah. No, I think, you know what? I think he'd be better at I think he'd be better at 13 than Chibnall, honestly, because he knows how to do quirky characters, but like not to the point of them being overly quirky and overly generic and sort of like over the top in their quirkiness, essentially. Like Eleven's a very quirky Doctor, but he's got a very emotional centre, particularly in that episode. Like he's very vulnerable at the end, and I think that's something Neil Gaiman really did well. And I think that's something we need from this Doctor. We need to see some vulnerability. We need to see this Doctor challenged. So yeah, if Neil Gaiman, I think if anyone could do that, it'd be Neil Gaiman for sure. Definitely. TARDIS has been different colours before. In Having a Patrol, it was painted pink. Yep, it has. Release the Gaiman cut. I agree. Let's get that trending. Tweet it out right now. Hashtag release the Gaiman cut. I'll tweet it out. Hashtag. Finally, one of these movements I can get behind. Release the Gaiman cut. Get Matt Smith back. Get Karen Gillan back. Just tweet it out. Tweet it out. Hashtag release the Gaiman cut. I want to see his version of Nightmare in Silver, because I have no doubt it will be even better. And I don't even mind the original story, but I honestly think he was done a disservice. I'm just Okay. I'm going to tweet this out right now. If you guys can do it all as well, we've got 37 of you watching. If you all tweeted it right now, we start a trending movement. Hashtag release the game and cut. If I get Nightmare in Silver. Nightmare. It's still weird to me that we haven't had a full-on Nightmare in Silver Cyberman full 5.5-inch character options released. That is bizarre to me, but that's another story for another day. Okay, I'm gonna just... What image do I use? I use this one. Oh, no, yeah, that one will do. Copy image. Yeah, we're starting a movement, boys. Let's get it trending. Release the game and cut. Boom. I tweeted it. We're starting a movement. 42 people watching. Thank you so much. This is like the peak of like the recent live stream so far, so thank you so much for that. Yeah, hashtag release the game and cut. Just tweet it out if you can. Let's see if we can get it like trending, or at least a low point in trending. That would be very, very cool. Yeah, that I'd love to see his original vision, because I honestly believe it would have been great. I just think it got tampered with. In fact, is there anywhere where it says his original vision? Let's read it out. I know this is a complete tangent, but you know what? Nightmare in Silver. Neil Gaiman talking about Nightmare in Silver. That's what we need. Alright. Neil Gaiman admits his Doctor Who ep, Nightmare in Silver, was a bit of a dud. So even he's admitting it was a dud. But I think he would be able to do it better, honestly. Given his talent, style, and the sort of writing he likes to write about, fans spent years imagining what Neil Gaiman would write for Doctor Who. In 2011, we got Doctor's Wife, sweet, funny, and heartbreaking, which saw the Doctor sharing an adventure with the TARDIS, literally with her, after the vessel's consciousness was shifted into a humanoid body. One of modern Doctor Who's finest hours, The Doctor's Wife received near universal acclaim and netted Gaiman and both Ray Bradbury awards and a Hugo. Naturally, fans wanted to see more from Gaiman, and in 2013 he returned in an episode titled Nightmare in Silver. It wasn't only fans and critics who felt that Nightmare in Silver was a misstep. In a recent interview, he admitted his regrets about Nightmare and explained that what was originally going on for the episode. He told Radio Times, Nightmare in Silver is some people's favourite, but everybody, including me, thinks, oh, if we chat another week, we could have changed things. And then you're kind of stuck with it. I think there are things that could have been done better, but I also think that the thing I wanted to do in Nightmare in Silver, I did to show people that Matt Smith could act. It was one of those things that fascinate me when watching Matt, getting to know Matt a little bit. It was a sensible people who should have shown better, assuming that the 11th Doctor was just Matt Smith, and I'm going, no, that's the part he's playing, and he's an incredible, fantastic actor who is, as the Doctor, capable of the most enormous range, yet there's a lot of stuff he's not doing. So I thought, wouldn't it be amazing to give him something to go up against, to have him go up against himself, which is something that, even though is a staple of sci-fi drama, is not something that's ever happened in Doctor Who. Even people who don't like bits of Nightmare in Silver love Matt Smith as a Sliber Planet alter ego. To be fair, Nightmare in Silver was destined to fall short in comparison to other brilliance of The Doctor's Wife. The episode that puts a spin on the Doctor's relationship that we'd never really seen before, somehow managing to spin a love story between a man and a blue box in a way that will absolutely break your heart, especially during the finale, which features Matt Smith. Okay, yeah, I think in a lifetime of writing that, yeah, okay, it's funny I'm talking to Stephen Moffat about it, yeah, I don't want to know any more about this, but even he admits that his original vision wasn't met and that it should be changed, which is why I'm saying right now, release the Gaiman cut. Let's go. I'm totally down to see a Gaiman cut. Yes, let's go. Let's get it trending. Go guys, go get it trending. I want to see his version of Nightmare in Silver, because I genuinely believe he could write like one of the best Cyberman stories we've ever seen, like on par at least with World Enough at Time, the first part. Feels good to be back. I love these live streams, so it's good to have you, Crazy Walker. Return of the Cybermen, the original draft, was a much better story. Yeah, I've heard that too, so I'll be interested to see what they do with the Big Finish release later on. see what else you guys are saying. I only remember it due to nostalgia and Mr. Shakespeare from Nativity. What's that in reference to? I'm not sure what that's in. Oh, is that... Oh, Nightmare in Silver, because he's in that, isn't he? Is he in that? Yeah, he is. He's Mr. Webley, isn't he? He's the Webley guy. That looks really cool as well. Side note, I really love the design of Webley, where he's like half Cyberman. And he did it before, you know, the Lone Cyberman made it cool to do as well. So yeah, I really like the Webley design. I mean, I think another thing that lets it down is like the kids. And he kind of lumbered with these kids that, like, I'm sorry, are just really, like, irritating. I'm sure they're lovely people and great actors, but my god, the character's irritating. You've got one being the most stereotypical teenager ever, like, who gets taken to the moon, and she's like... Who gets taken to, like, a space moon and space theme park, and she's like, eh. And the other one's just like, oh, I'm scared. It's like, oh, well, you're just boring, you know? Yeah, this design I genuinely think is cool. Seeing, like, a guy half converted. Because, like, prior to Ashad, that's, like, the most we'd seen someone being half converted in the show, at least. I mean, I guess you could count Attack of the Cybermen, but, like, even that, it never looked... It was just literally just humans inside, like, little cyber heads. Whereas this is, like, part conversion. I just think it looks really good. So, yeah, we're starting a movement, guys. Release the Gaiman cut. Hashtag release the Gaiman cut. Let's get it trending. Instagram Doctor Who posted about Target novels. Ooh, can you send a link to me, Dan23? DM me on Twitter if you want, at TharisYT. Oh god, people are latching onto our calls. Release the Gaiman cut, let's go. Yes. Yes, I love that. We love to see it. We love to see it. We do love to see it. Thank you all for supporting that. Hopefully, it gets the attention of some people. Attack of the Cybermen is such an underrated gem. I honestly, and this annoys some people, but I honestly prefer... Not annoys, but it surprises some people at least. You got 40 watching. Thank you so much, everyone. Honestly... Like, if we get it to 50, if you guys could share this stream around, get me to 50 viewers, I'd love that. And hopefully that'll be the new benchmark. Because we've smashed the last one, which I wanted to get 40 people watching concurrently. We got that, so I'm really happy we got that. But 50 is the next goal. So share it around if you could. Release the Gaiman cut, exactly, Cabby Cat. Will the Gaiman cut be 4 hours? You know what? I would watch 4 hours of it. I really would. Not like the Snyder... Look, I watched about the first hour and a half of the Snyder Cut, and I got bored. I'm sorry. I just... Like, the Snyder... thing is about the Snyder thing is that Snyder's original vision never really appealed to me. So, what a 4-hour version of it is going to do for me, I don't know. Coming this August is a 2-volume celebration of Terrance Dick's best Doctor Who novels. Okay. As chosen by fans. See a full list of stories here. Okie dokie, we'll take a look. Coming this August is a 2-volume celebration of much-loved storyteller collecting 10 of Terrance Dick's best Doctor Who novels as chosen by fans. Terrance Dicks was at the hearts of Doctor Who for over 50 years, from joining production on The Invasion in 1968. God, he really was around for a while. Credit to Terrance Dick's Uncle Terry. May he rest in peace. As a script editor to his final short story in 2019, Terrance wrote 64 Target novels. Wait, did he pass away? I'm not sure. I thought he did, but I may be wrong. From his first commission in 1973, his last in 1990, helping introduce a generation of children to the pleasures of reading and writing, with fans including Neil Gaiman, Sarah Waters, Mark Gatiss, Alistair Reynolds, Russell T Davies, Stephen Moffat, Frank Cottrell-Boyce, and Robert Webb, among many others. It's so amazing how many people he inspired, man. What a legend. The special 2-volume collection, published on the anniversary of Terrance's death, features the very best of Doctor Who Target novels as chosen by fans from his book, The Auton Invasion, to his masterwork, the 20th anniversary celebration, story The Five Doctors, voted all-time favourite. I mean, that's inevitable. Multi-Doctor stories are always going to go down as, like, you know, a favourite among fans, because they're multi-Doctor stories. With 4 words by Frank Cottrell-Boyce and Robert Webb, The Essential Terrance Dicks is a masterclass in contemporary fiction by a writer of unlimited imagination. Volume 1 contains, and abridged, Doctor Who, The Dark Invasion of Earth, The Abominable Snowmen, Wheel in Space, Auton Invasion, and Day of the Daleks. Volume 2 contains Genesis of the Daleks, Pyramids of Mars, Talents of Wen Chiang, Horror of Thang Rock, and the 5 Doctors. So, yeah, if you guys are interested in that, that's coming out. I love Terrence Dicks. I think he's an absolutely incredible writer. And yeah, I'd totally be down to... I think that I might pick that up. As I said earlier on the stream, when they announced... Where is it? It's the one before this. When they announced these... In fact, we could read the article about these as well. The collection range will be reissued in standard packaging. So the collection range of Doctor Who will be reissued in standard packaging. The first titles to join the range will be Season 12 and 20. You can pre-order them now. Ooh, okay. Zavi, by the way, sponsor me, please. No, I'm joking. You don't have to, but I mean, you sponsor everyone else, so, you know. The collection... you can pre-order it now. Doctor Who The Collection offers fans the opportunity to build their own home archive of classic entertainment and has proved hugely popular. That is true. They sell out like instantly with fans of the TV series. The new standard packaging range is being introduced in their response to this success, offering fans a second opportunity to fill gaps in their collection and enjoy the classic era of Doctor Who. New releases within the collection range will be marked as Doctor Who The Collection limited edition packaging. Wow, they really do know how to sell things. So even if you've got the season 12 version, they're like, haha, this is the limited edition though. You want the limited edition, right? They really do know what they're doing in terms of marketing these things, man. Because like, have you seen some of the trailers for these Blu-rays? They're insane. With the standard edition range marketed as Doctor Who The Collection, releases with the Doctor Who Collection and limited edition packaging range will continue to offer fans bespoke premium packaging featuring a beautifully presented box containing the discs and a full-length premium printed booklet which illustrates an in-depth behind-the-scenes insight. Releases with the new standard packaging Doctor Who The Collection range will feature a standard plastic blue... Oh, wait. So is it going to have that? Oh, wait, no, that's not going to replace the big packages. It's just going to be inside, which is fine. Oh, no, is it going to have... Oh, that looks... Oh, that looks a bit ugly with the Blu-ray on top. I'd rather just not have that bit. But, I mean, fair enough. I mean, it doesn't bother me too much, but I think it does look a way more appealing without that ugly blue bar at the top. Yes, let's go animate. We are live. We've been live for a little while now. Is it me or does the photo look photoshopped? It probably is. That probably is photoshopped. I don't imagine when this was coming out that they actually had it physically. Yeah, let's see how our little thingy's going. Release the Gaiman cut is getting a lot of likes on Twitter, which is very fun. Yeah, I would even if it was a Big Finish release, you know what? I'd take that. I'd listen to that. I'd love that. Because they didn't Return of the Cyberman. I think his version of, or even a novelization would be interesting. Personally, I'd prefer it either audio or, you know, some sort of visual thing, even if it's like animated, like the classic episodes are. But you know, or even live action. But I know that's like a pipe dream, and that would probably never happen because you know. You'd have to line up Matt Smith, Karen Gillan, Warwick Davis, so many like people, and the chances of it happening probably won't, but you know, I can dream, right? Apparently the episodes in Series 13 are an hour long. I've got a good feeling about this. Yeah, I'm glad that they're making the episode time longer, and I'm glad that we're getting more two-parters, because that'll give, hopefully, the stories more room to breathe as well. Yeah, so I hope that that's the case. Cabby Cat, apparently episodes in Series 13 are an hour long. I've got a good... Yeah, no, I just read that. Doctor Who Classic Seasons will get new Blu-ray releases after the original run sells out. Okay, that makes sense. But that's gonna wrap up this stream today. It's a bit of a shorter one. I hope you all did enjoy. Thank you for tuning in. Hashtag release the Gaiman cut, and I will see you later. Goodbye. Goodbye, guys.